Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about Noam Chomsky and his criticism of the drone campaign. Most people know what it is, but I'm talking to many different audiences. The drone campaign is when people fly unmanned aerial vehicles from a computer, usually ways away from Afghanistan and Iraq, and they fly the unmanned aerial vehicle, and they drop bombs on terrorists, suspected terrorists. But 90% of the time, the bombs that are dropped are terrorists, and they operate from the best intelligence they have available, the best information they have available. Only 10% of the victims of these drone campaigns have been civilians, and it's been accidental bombings. Also, usually that's the terrorist's fault because the terrorists blend in with the civilian population, and a lot of times use the civilian populations as shields. Okay? And Chomsky sometimes, I believe, demeans the drone pilots for what they're doing, and the drone pilots I strongly believe, feel connected to the U.S. forces on the ground in Afghanistan. They feel like they're they're right there in Afghanistan, even though they may be operating from a computer room half a world away. And Chomsky does not mention that. Also, Chomsky does not mention that the terrorists, what a lot of times they would do, they would go into Afghanistan, shoot at the U.S. soldiers, and then cross back into Pakistan. Well, due to the rules of engagement, a lot of the soldiers could not follow the terrorists into Pakistan. They could not do that. And then also you saw where Osama bin Laden hid in Pakistan, and the U.S. forces went in and got him anyway. The Pakistani government was very upset about that. And you're seeing that, and that's not the U.S. soldiers' fault in that instance. And I've had the privilege of talking and meeting drone pilots. They've never told me anything that they couldn't tell a news reporter or anything, but they are very good people. That I can say. They are very, very good people. They're very nice people. They want to help people. They want to protect people. They don't want to harm people. They don't want to go out and be psychopaths, because they're not psychopaths. And Chomsky, I think, a lot of times portrays these brave drone pilots as psychopaths. And these drone pilots, or a lot of them are humble. They would be embarrassed to be called heroes, but I strongly believe they're ordinary people that do many heroic things. And also, okay, Chomsky makes some just or reasonable criticisms. I'm not going to say they were just, but people could believe they're just, okay? That he says a lot of the terrorists have been trying to turn a lot of the villagers in the North Waziristan area of Pakistan against the Americans, but a lot of villagers have said no. But when the drone attacks started happening, a lot of them started turning against the Americans. And I can believe that. He also notes that, you wake up one day, you don't know if a unmanned aerial vehicle is coming to bomb your village or destroy your village. And that has happened. I can listen to that. But the thing is that why can you say that, but then you can't say it for 9/11? 9/11, September 11th, people just showed up to the World Trade Center to go to work. Just thought it was any other day, and then terrorists flew planes, hijacked planes into the World Trade Center. Or when North Korea invaded South Korea. South Koreans got up, went to work just like any other day, but then North Korea goes across the 38th parallel, tries to take over the entire country by force. Particularly when they took over Seoul, they massacred a lot of people. So you want to use that logic as well? Chomsky doesn't use that logic in that area. And then also, okay, when Iraq invaded Kuwait, Kuwaitis just went to work just like any other day, and Iraq held Kuwait's parliament hostage. Fortunately, the Emir, the leader of Kuwait, was able to escape. So use that logic as well. All right. And he only uses that logic on the drone campaign. So the drone campaign is not the number one act of terror in the world, particularly when only 10% of the victims are civilians, and they're unintended victims at that. That just doesn't make logical sense to call the drone campaign the number one act of terror in the world. It just doesn't. Actually, the country that approves the drone campaign the highest is India. And India can tell you a thing or two about radical Islamic terrorism, because India has been targets of radical Islamic terrorism before. And they highly support the U.S.-led drone campaign. The approval of people from India on this drone campaign is well over 50%. So, God bless the brave drone pilots for keeping us safe and taking out the dirtbag terrorist. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post what I say about the drone campaign, approving it and understanding why it happens, as well as, and then also posting what Chomsky says about the drone campaign. Also, I've talked to people who have been Air Force security forces, and they highly praise what the drone pilots do. That I can say, who've been security forces or ex-security forces. Security forces are kind of a combination of the infantry and the military police of the United States Air Force. And they really praise what the drone pilots have done and appreciate their service. So anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.